Welcome back to Pouur Decisions, and I am so excited to feature our guest today is SA Frell, and her company is Olivia Rose Confections. So we are going to have an amazing conversation today. I can't wait to, find out more about how you started and how you came up with the idea to, for Olivia Rose Confections. So fill us in. Everybody wants to know.
What is it, 2025? So we're 12 years now. I'm usually telling this story and it's like a decade ago, but yeah, so it's...
But you're 12 years, that's awesome.
Yeah, 12 years. There was a hiatus at some point though too, but so 12 years, well, even further back, but lost my job and I was like, I gotta go back to school, or am I gonna get a job? And I decided to go back to school.
Okay.
So I went to school for culinary and kind of fell in love with pastry. And so I started working at the restaurant that's connected, because I went to Tri-C downtown.
Okay.
So there was a restaurant connected to it, and I started working at that restaurant, just making pastries while I'm in school. And I was like, this is what I really want to do. And I tell everyone all the time, I made whoopie pies for lunch, and this guy comes in and he buys 30 of them.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh, I could sell that. Instead of making $11 an hour, I could sell 30 of them for $90, right?
Oh my gosh, yes.
But then I didn't realize that, so when I start my business, I was like, oh, wait, I got to pay for me to make it. I got to pay for ingredients. I got to rent a space. So that $90 that it was quickly became $5.
Right.
So I wound up making less money than having a job. But I appreciated the freedom of it. I could create without permission. And that was my biggest thing about without having a higher degree, I always felt like I had that glass ceiling.
Okay.
So, and in my mind, I am the CEO wherever I go. I don't care who is the CEO. I can be the CEO too. So I knew I needed my own business. So,
oh my gosh. Okay. So, and how long was the culinary program?
I did that in 2.5 years. It took me 2.5 years to finish that program.
And then while you were doing that, you came up with the idea to start selling the whoopie pies?
Yeah, well, not whoopie pies per se, but so I thought I was going to sell franch pastries, so croissants and macarons and eclairs, and so that was my thing. And guimauve, which is marshmallows. So in 2013, I started selling marshmallows at a local a flea market. Because
marshmallows, what we're thinking that you buy in the store, or
better than that.
Okay.
So how, because marshmallows are definitely my thing, but so I loved marshmallows as a kid growing up.
I never thought about making those. Okay, that's cool.
So that was one of the jobs that I had at the restaurant, was to make marshmallow. But the way they made marshmallow, I could not make it. It would fail all the time.
Okay.
Because you're pouring hot sugar into whipped eggs. And I failed every single time.
Okay.
But you know how there's national food holidays? Well, there was National S'more holiday. National S'more Day is August 10th.
Oh, I love s'mores.
Yeah, so someone said, can anyone make s'mores for National S'mores Day? And I'm like, I can.
Yes, I can.
Well, I gotta learn how. So I did, if you ever want to learn food, you go to Alton Brown. So I went to Alton Brown's marshmallow recipe, and he doesn't have egg whites in his marshmallow recipe. So I tried that, and I made successfully a marshmallow. And then I was like, can I bake my own graham crackers? So I found a graham cracker recipe, and I made my own graham crackers, and I was ready to go with these vanilla marshmallows and graham crackers. So as much as I wanted to do all French pastries, I became known for the marshmallow lady.
Oh wow!
So if the people say this is what you do, then that's what you do.
Yep.
So it went from making a vanilla one to trying different beers and wines and teas and natural flavorings, and that just
infused in the marshmallow.
Well, the marshmallows made with
that.
So instead of using water, then I would use a beer or strawberries or tea.
That is unique.
Yeah.
I mean, the creativity just gets to flow. As a business owner, you have a lot of creativity and freedom.
Absolutely.
So that is cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so all right, so take us. You finish culinary school. You're still making marshmallows.
Yeah.
You're still, okay.
Yeah.
And then,
Well, I thought I was ready for my own bakery because like, I had this following, but the following was on like the west side of Cleveland.
Okay.
But then I opened a bakery on the east side of Cleveland because that's where I lived, and I had no following, and so I crashed and burned in like 6 months. So.
Okay, so give us a little insight. When you say crash and burn, what do you mean?
So I was undercapitalized, you know. So I started with $35,000, and the place that I moved into, like I had to buy a stove and a refrigerator, and then I found out I had to get a grease trap, which meant I had to get a plumber, and I had to like you know have like a little bit of construction done to drill a hole into because the grease trap went into the basement. Okay. So like it was all these extra expenses that took away from my marketing budget. Yeah. And I was like, which budget can I take it from? And I chose to take it from my marketing budget. Okay. Which meant that I couldn't afford putting a sign outside to say like we're here, or even like to pay for ads. Right. So being undercapitalized, I didn't have the money to market. Okay. And that was like one of the biggest lessons that I had to learn for, you know, the second time around. So so not having enough money, because once I hit that 6 months, everybody knew who I was, but I was so far behind that I made the decision like I'm too far in debt. I'm like, so it's
to be able to keep going.
Yeah, so I would have had to go into more debt to keep going, and so I made the decision to close. Okay.
And at that time, was it called Olivia Rose Confections?
Yes. So Olivia and Rose are my daughters. It's their middle names actually. So Olivia is the younger one, so her name had to go first, or she would feel slighted, right? Like, why isn't my name first? And today is actually her birthday, and so it's definitely like, you know, because she always dealt with like I'm second born, and I'm like, but I can't control that. Like, yes, you were second born. I can't go back in time. So you always, I'm like, you'll always be second born. So I made the decision. And it kind of like had a little bit, you know, the rhythm of it, Olivia Rose versus Rose Olivia. So so we became Olivia Rose Confections.
Oh, well, and happy birthday to her too.
Happy birthday.
Okay, so obviously that was not the final story of you closing that that business.
It wasn't. I kind of like, I felt really embarrassed, and so I kind of wanted to like fall back and not be seen. Okay. So I baked for other people, and you know, and then I really went like corporate, and I worked for like a corporate company because I was like, I just want to be invisible at this point. And then there was an opportunity to teach in Cleveland Metropolitan School District as a culinary instructor. Okay. And I'm like, yeah, I could do that. I've always wanted to be a teacher. So I had the experience, and I said, okay, I'll take that job. And so I took that job for about 3 years. And while I was teaching, I taught entrepreneurship. That was also part of my, you know. Oh, nice. So I introduced them to entrepreneurship. And if you're familiar with Lemonade Day.
Yes, right? Yes.
So for Lemonade Day, they had like a whole workbook where they had to, I put them in teams, and they created a recipe that they had to make their lemonade from scratch. How much does it cost? How much are we going to sell it for? And then are you going to save this money? What are you going to buy? So it even gave them an end goal of like, what are you going to buy with your money after you save it? And so as I'm teaching Lemonade Day, I'm like, man, I really miss like having my own business. Yeah. So I decided, okay, let's learn some lessons. What did we learn from the first time around? And how do we do better? And so at the time I had an Etsy shop because I had like a little s'more survival kit that I was still selling. Oh. And I sold it on Etsy. And this woman reached out to me. She had a book subscription box. And I really didn't understand the concept of the subscription boxes because I had teenagers who would be like, Mom, can I have this subscription box? And I'm like, for $10 a month, it's going to come every month. And it's just like these little dollar store things inside of there. I'm like, we can just go to the dollar store. I don't understand the fascination with this subscription box. So I started researching what is a subscription box and how can I have one, because now I wouldn't have the overhead, right? I could do it without having all of the overhead. And so
selling the s'mores.
So it was called, well, it's Marshmallow of the Month Club. So I started,
and that's ongoing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I started that in I launched August. Yeah, this is my anniversary month. I launched August 1st of 2019.
Oh.
So I launched the Marshmallow of the Month Club and
Happy anniversary.
Yes,
that's
thank you.
that's awesome. Okay. We have birthdays,
Yeah.
anniversaries, everything. Okay. So you are doing the subscription, or I guess you probably found out more information about the subscription. And
there's a lot of communities. I joined like all the communities. I just asked all kinds of questions to really understand what it meant to have a subscription box. How do you launch it? Because I launched with a pre-sale, so I strategically did it so that like you buy it and you're not getting it in August. Your first one will come in September.
Yes.
So with that money that I made, I was able to purchase everything I needed.
Right, to fulfill the orders.
Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly.
Well, you're tapping into the lessons you learned from prior experiences, because it's never like failure. I never look at anything as failure.
Right.
It's just lessons that direct us onto the different path that we need to get on.
Absolutely.
So that's awesome. You were able to take that information. Okay.
It took, I had to lick my wounds and it was really uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah.
But funny enough, like no one even cared.
That's one thing you realize.
More than anyone else did. Like just so when I came back, I was well received. I'm like, oh,
they were like, where have you been? Like, where did you go? Yeah. We take things so hard as business owners, and it's because it's so important to us, and this is our baby. But in all actuality, people are very forgiving, and sometimes they don't even know.
Yeah.
They may have been like, oh, we didn't even realize.
Right.
And you're like, really? Because I was just crying in the corner. Like, oh, okay. So keep going. Tell us, the next.
Oh, and so where's it go from there? Oh, so COVID, right? So so it's 2019, and then we go into 2020. And COVID hits in March, which oddly enough, I was sick and I think I had COVID and didn't know, right? So I remember these dates like way too well. I got sick March 9th and my kids got sick March 9th. And then, so I called off from work and then March 12th is when we shut down. So I was already like off from work or whatever.
Right.
And so there was no plan. I'm teaching culinary arts. How do we teach this virtual?
Right.
Right. So I felt like I had to make a decision, like what's next. But then everything else happened too. So it was also COVID, and it was George Floyd, and amplifying Black voices. So the marketplace that I was on was like, okay, we're going to amplify, in the month of June. So it was Juneteenth, George Floyd, COVID. And so they amplified, these Black subscription boxes, and I was at 75 a month, and then like overnight I went to like 250.
Oh my gosh.
So it was enough where I could like be full time, because I had always said, I always said like I'm only going to do 100 because I'm working a full-time job.
Right.
I can really only do like, so when I hit 250, I'm like, oh, I can make the leap. Do I want to leave my job and my benefits? And so I had a plan in place, like what debt do I need to pay down so that I can leave this job, and what's insurance look like, and just making sure I had that plan. And then a month later, because I had until like July 10th to make the decision if I was going to stay or not, and I decided to leave and go full time into my business.
That is awesome.
Oh, and pay myself. So a lot of people don't do that. They don't do like, how do I make sure I can pay myself?
Right.
Like,
no.
So I definitely had to say like every box.
I get.
I get a dollar amount from every box goes right into my pocket. So I did that. I made sure I had that plan, because I was like, what do we need to survive every month? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
but those questions are so important, because a lot of times, as when you're starting up a business, you're thinking, okay, I have this amount of money coming in, and if you're not factoring paying yourself, then you run out of money, and you're like, how am I going to buy food, pay mortgage, rent, pay for my car note, just basic living expenses. So the fact that you were already factoring that in, oh my gosh, it's priceless. Priceless. And so important.
And I feel rude sometimes when I'm like, you don't pay yourself.
No, it's a good question, and oftentimes so overlooked, by most business owners.
I believe so.
Yeah. So you're like, can't do this for free.
No,
like
you can't.
you have to live off of something. Unless you just have a huge nest egg or something that allows you to just tap into that. But even still, you want to create a business model that actually pays you.
Absolutely.
So that's
Absolutely.
great. Okay. So you're doing that, and the subscriptions are going well. But do you continue just with doing that, or how did you expand?
I did the subscriptions for a while. That was from 2019 to, I believe, 2022, either 2021 or 2022. So every box had marshmallows, graham crackers, and a pack of cocoa. So my thought was you could use the marshmallows to drink with your cocoa, and, So when I was teaching my student, it was one cold day, they wanted cocoa, and I was like, if we're gonna make cocoa, we're gonna make it from scratch.
Yes.
Right? And so these are like Swiss Miss kids, and I'm like, we're gonna make it from scratch. And so I made it from scratch, and they were just like
floored.
Yeah, like this is hot chocolate. I'm like, yeah, this is hot chocolate. Because with the other packs, it's like real watered down. You need a couple packs.
Yeah.
So that became like my bribe. Like, okay, y'all want hot chocolate? This is what I need you to do today. And then that was their reward. And then I realized, like, oh, I got these kids to like this hot chocolate. I may be on to something. So every box had hot chocolate inside of it. So I think it was 2022, I decided, because I had a customer who said, how can I get more hot chocolate? They were asking me for more graham crackers and more hot chocolate.
Okay, so how many were in the box? How many graham crackers?
So there were 6 marshmallows and 6 graham crackers.
Okay.
So there wasn't enough graham crackers to make like 6 s'mores. And it was strategic. I did it on purpose. I did it on purpose. So you're going to make like 3, and then you have 3 left for your hot chocolate. So I did it completely on purpose.
Oh.
And then I had one family who, just talking to your customers, which is so important, you learn so much. I had a family who said, we have to decide who gets the s'more every month, because it was a family of 4, but you could only make 3 s'mores. So then I had to create a family box. So then I create a family box.
Oh.
So I had a family box that was going to the Philippines. But the way they sent it, like they sent it to a U.S. address, and then they got like their stuff shipped to the Philippines.
Okay.
So it was going to the Philippines, and she's like, can I get more cocoa? And I'm like, I don't know how to pack more cocoa. Because I was just sending like little packs. So I would send like, I would just get those little Mylar packs or whatever, slap a sticker on it and seal it and send it out. And so now it challenged me, how do I make a bigger bag of cocoa? And so I went down that whole process of how do I package it? What does it look like? How much does it cost?
Right.
So I figured all that out and launched on Amazon with this very ugly bag. And and I started selling, so it became so it became the cocoa. And so I went from having the subscription box, now we're going to add on the cocoa. And then there was, during COVID, a lot of businesses were doing Zooms all the time.
Yes.
So they were looking for like, how do we reduce Zoom fatigue? So I started sending out the s'more kit, and they would have like fireside chats. So so that became like a new corporate thing. So then I added on B2B, I had the cocoa, I had the subscription box, and it was just,
I love it.
But then the world opened back up, and no one really wanted, like, all these subscription boxes started canceling because it was on the rise because hey, let's
people
get
were
this
at home
delivered.
Yeah.
So it started slowing down, so I started focusing more on the cocoa. So now what was a monthly subscription box is now a quarterly subscription box. Because, like, how do I balance this? I was not able to balance all of it. So so that's where we were, and now people really want this graham cracker, and so now we're working on packaging the graham cracker and selling it. But that one's a tough one.
Is it? Okay.
It is, because it's very laborious. It's labor intensive.
I could see that.
I
could see that.
Do we buy the machine? Do like I had interns who, if they worked for 4 hours, they produced the same amount in 8 hours that they produced in 4 hours. So it's like, now I gotta set up quotas and making sure they're all the same size so that they fit in the box. And so I didn't want to do the graham crackers, but there's been a big push of like, I need to eat this graham cracker. So we're, so now that's where we are right now. We're packaging the graham cracker to make sure that when we ship it, it doesn't break. So that's the most important part right now. It's like, how do we create this packaging so it doesn't break? And guess what, friends? This is a $10 graham cracker. It's not a $5 graham cracker.
Right.
So
this is made from scratch and with great ingredients and oh my gosh. Are they the same size as like a regular?
They're not. They're smaller. So they do match our marshmallows so that you can make them into some more, but they are a little bit smaller. And that was intentional to make sure that the crispiness of it. So it's like a real nice snap to it. Yes. Yes. That is so good. Okay. So so that's what you're working on now, the graham cracker. You're still doing the quarterly subscription box, which I need to release this one. So we do a different flavor every single month. So we're at 63 flavors, and then August we do usually do vanilla. But I think I want to
change it.
Yeah. So. And I never know what I want to do until the month actually happens. And then it's so funny because then I find myself eating that food. I did a banana one, and I'm just eating banana bread, bananas, and banana smoothie. I'm like, why am I so into bananas? But every month I do a flavor, I get into that flavor.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
it makes sense. And do you send them all out on a certain day?
They used to go out by the 15th. So when it was a whole bunch of them, when it was 388 was the highest that I had.
Oh, wow.
So it was just it'll go out by the 15th, So now it's really making sure it goes out to celebrate a specific date. I want to make sure it goes out for nationals one day.
Okay, and that's August 10th.
That's August 10th.
Okay. Now, do you find that people are are your profit margins better with the boxes, or you think it'll be with the graham crackers, or even just selling to people that are interested just locally or something?
Yeah, I mean, the best profit margin is the corporate boxes because it's it ships to one address, right? So shipping kind of hurts your bottom line a lot. And what I used to ship for $3.96 is now $5.96. So I gotta keep pushing my price point up. And then even with the cocoa, if I send out one bag of a 1.5 ounce cocoa, it costs the same as a 7.6 ounce bag of cocoa. So yeah, so shipping is kind of one of those things that do I pass it off to the customer? Do I pay for it? So I think we eat $1 of the shipping. And then the customer pays for it because I love the Etsy customer. They want to pay for shipping. So so we love being on Etsy.
And I'm sure that was something that you probably found as you experimented in different ways, what works best, which business model, or did you know ahead of time, these were going to be your costs?
No, it really was trying to figure out what does work best and how far can we push that price point, because even now the price of cocoa has gone up. So what we sold for $8.99, we have to move to $9.49, and is it going to sell at $9.49? And it's vegan and dairy free, so we have to make sure people know, hey, you can use whatever milk of choice you want with our product, as opposed to the other ones that have dairy inside of it.
Yes.
So this is why, we're a good $9.49, because there are other dairy-free ones out there, but they don't tote themselves as dairy-free. So we make sure we say we're dairy-free.
Absolutely, dairy-free. Yeah. I mean, that's a key selling point and a reason why people will pay more for your product too. Absolutely.
Yeah, so direct to consumer is always better. We are in Meyer Fairfax. But when you start selling wholesale, I feel like it's more ego than it is profit, because you're selling it for less, even though you're selling more at one time, but you make more money when you go direct to consumer.
Yeah, I've heard that from a lot of other business owners too, because it's nice to say, oh, I have a display at Target and Whole Foods or wherever, but the profits may not be there like
Right.
they are.
So that's when you go for volume. You have to go for volume.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then you're like, okay, do I have the capacity
Yes.
to fulfill the volume?
Absolutely. And that's what I'm dealing with right now. I've been approached by 2 other grocery stores, and I'm like, oh, do I have the capacity to do it? So, and what does that really look like? Getting the product, and so it's another interesting journey right now.
All these lessons we just keep learning. Yes, 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 to make us better, stronger.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, any legal aspects that you encountered that you're like, oh, I'm so glad that I did this, or you didn't do, and you're doing now, that you could be shared with the viewers?
Well, during COVID, I don't know where all the trademark lawyers came out of.
Okay.
But I guess so many people were starting businesses, and a lot of trademark lawyers were just like, you got to get your trademark, you know, before you start your business. And I'm already like a year in.
Okay.
And I'm like, you know, so I went down the path of getting my trademark for Marshmallow of the Month Club.
Okay.
That was the goal.
Okay.
Trademark, because I had big dreams of what I was
Yes.
going to do and license this out, and like what I'm going to do with Marshmallow of the Month Club. And so I started that process in December of 2021.
Okay.
And a big company that has of the month clubs that they sell, they opposed the trademark. So I started with a lawyer, and they opposed the trademark, and they had deep pockets. And so my lawyer did their due diligence and said, we can absolutely win this. And I'm like, okay,
let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And so 6 months later, a year later, I mean, so I think we abandoned it in maybe 2023.
Okay.
Yeah, in 2023. So the USPTO did come back and said that it was too generic, even though there are like Book of the Month Club, Wine of the Month Club, those exist. Apparently the law changed. I don't know all the things. But so Marshmallow of the Month Club, we were not able to register it, and after they denied us or rejected us, there was a Marshmallow of the Month Club everywhere on the internet. So yeah, so that company, they launched their Marshmallow of the Month Club,
and so did
our direct competitor. They launched a Marshmallow of the Month Club, but was interesting, our direct competitor was out of Chicago, Illinois. And when they launched their Marshmallow of the Month Club, they created confusion in the marketplace, and we had an uptick of people from Chicago, Illinois, because we own the domain. We have the IG, you know, so like, you know, so we were getting business from
just because people were Googling and and your website was coming up.
And so the marketplace that we were on, they were marketing Marshmallow of the Month Club, so we were always at the top for Google. So we don't work with that marketplace anymore, but you know, we were always at the top of Google. And then I did some SEO stuff in the background where I was just like, I kept using Marshmallow of the Month Club all over the website, the images, and I was like, we just have to stay, you know, at the top of the funnel, you know, when you're searching for it. But yeah, so that was a tough one.
Well, trademarking, it's very interesting, and but I mean, at least you started the process, because it is crucial to start that ahead of time, because you could get your name out there, logo out there, and then find out years later that, oh my gosh, I have to rebrand.
Yes.
Because somebody else has this and they're coming after you.
Yeah.
So, and you've built up this following, but at least you did start that.
Yes. Because I've seen a lot of people who are like, I'm trademarked in Ohio, and I'm like, well, what happens when you want to go national?
Exactly. Yeah.
So when you make that one sale, and in California, then like, you're gonna get sued.
Yes,
you're gonna get that cease and desist. I think an interesting one was hot cocoa bomb. Right, so hot cocoa bomb was really interesting. Everybody's making hot cocoa bombs. Not one person thought, let me trademark that. Not one. And then I watched the internet, just all the people cease and desist. They just all got these, and they're like small little businesses, and they're all on YouTube. I go to cease and desist, you know. So that's what made me think, oh, we gotta go.
Yes. Yep. Because you have to take those cease and desist orders, letters seriously. You can't just ignore it,
right?
Because it's you potentially are infringing on somebody else's rights. So I'm glad, I mean.
Yeah, but that person was super smart.
Yes, they were
super smart.
First to the market.
Yes.
Yep. It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. If
Right.
nobody else has filed, then, you know, you still can, and it can be yours.
Yeah. Even shabby chic, that's an interesting one too.
Oh.
Shabby chic is trademarked, so on Etsy, like, you can't say shabby
You
chic.
can't.
So it's like it's so freaking brilliant.
It
So
is.
now it was time to launch my cocoa, which is called Joy Craft Cocoa.
Okay.
And I said, you know, we probably need to get the trademark on this. And I had already spent maybe like $3,500 with that particular lawyer, and I lost a little bit of faith, because like you said, you did your due diligence, and you said this is good, we can win this one.
Yeah.
And so I was like, what if we do it ourselves?
Okay.
And so I did a little bit of research, and it was maybe $325 to file it. I said, let's go. And so I filed it, and I got what's the first letter? The denial letter, or the...
Yes.
Yeah, so I got the first letter, and it basically said, like, you can't say that you own cocoa.
But
right?
you can change it, because they'll give you some pointers.
Yes.
Yes.
So the lawyer who had my trademark gave me some pointers, and honestly, like, I'm sure lawyers might cringe, but I threw it into ChatGPT, and I was like, how do I answer this, right? And at the time, I was in Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program, and we had like a pro bono day with the lawyer,
right?
You know, so not legal advice, but like, hey, what can I help you with?
Right.
And so I knew, I was like, I'm gonna go for a trademark lawyer. So I asked for a trademark lawyer. I sat down with him. I said, like, they denied me what, you know, he's like, you can say, you know, and so he told me the things that I can say through the ChatGPT. And I sent it back, and I got my trademark. I got registered.
Yes.
Yeah. So, so I mean, I honestly, I tell everybody, use a lawyer. Because if you get opposed, like I did by a big company, and then you have to go find a lawyer, that's not what you want.
No, you don't want to deal with that.
But if you're spelling something awkward, go for it. Like, even though I dislike when people spell things, but Acura wasn't Acura. There was no word Acura before Acura, right?
Right.
So be strategic. Like, can you train people to say this new word?
Right.
But if you're trying to respell something, like, and even SEO wise, it's terrible to like spell things. Oh, I'm gonna get canceled. But it's so terrible to spell things just like, and leaving out vowels and things like that.
Okay.
And, so, but if you're gonna spell it awkward and weird, like, or it's gonna be like 10 words long, go for it on your own. But like, if it's like kimono, right?
right.
And then you may not understand, like, what class am I going to be in? How can Dove chocolate bar exist with Dove like lotion in the market? Like, why can those both exist? So you have to understand classes. So I say, don't do it on your own. Get a lawyer. I am a huge proponent of getting a lawyer.
We encourage getting an attorney. Yes.
You know, I think it's smart, but you know, and then learning it. But this one, I knew Joy Craft Cocoa. I did enough research
to know that it was available.
That I could possibly get this. So Joy Craft was trademarked, and then I think Craft Cocoa, they said it was too generic. I couldn't trademark that, so I had to just write a little phrase in there of what I don't own, you know, or what I'm not trying to like legally trademark. So I was able to trademark Joy Craft Cocoa.
Oh, awesome! That's great. Okay, so now that we're in 2025, and so you're doing all of the cocoa, the graham crackers, still the subscription box, and anything else?
Yeah, so I'm working with, I have a new partner in Adenike Harper, and she owns Gourmet Girl Custom Cakes.
Okay.
And we are working on Needed, which is a cooperative bakery and third space.
Okay.
So we are at the very beginning of raising some money.
Yes.
Looking for a free building. So if anyone out there has a free building for us, we will happily take it, even for 6 months. You know, because it's interesting. A lot of places have closed down their businesses. So this cooperative bakery would bring multiple people together in a business, because going it alone is expensive. Like I learned my first time
around. Yes, it is. It's always good to partner.
Yes. So I'm like, how do we come together? So we're looking for, maybe there's a restaurant that's closed, and if we can rent it for 6 months, we'll take it. And
okay. If anybody out there has something, please. Let us know.
That's what's next, is that cooperative bakery. Because one thing that I've found is I've had a lot of traction over the last 3 years, but people want to know, where can I get this?
Right.
And then I gotta send you here, I gotta send you to that store down the street.
But if they have a single location to go to, it does make it more convenient.
It does.
Absolutely.
It does. So now that's where I'm at right now. It's just working on that space. Oh, and I teach at Tri-C, so I'm an adjunct at Tri-C for culinary arts, and the Center for Entrepreneurs. I help mentor other entrepreneurs as well. So
that is wonderful, and I mean, it's a great story.
Thank you.
Great story. So I have to ask too, any poor decision that you made during the life of this business that we can share with the viewers, and how you were successful to overcome that.
I'm still overcoming it.
That's okay.
I got a little arrogant when I got profitable, right?
Okay.
So I was just like, oh, I have a nice chunk of change in the bank. And one thing with being in the food industry or subscription box is that if you can buy in bulk, you're gonna save money. So at the end of 2021, I had like money in the bank, and I said, I'm gonna use this money and I'm gonna buy like a year's worth of supplies and reduce my costs drastically. But I didn't.
Which makes sense.
It does, like in theory.
Yeah.
But I didn't have the business acumen to understand like what was about to happen, right? So we're coming out of COVID, and then people are going to go back outside. I did not have, the foresight to see like how that was going to affect my business.
Yeah.
And so now I've got all these supplies and I'm ready to go, and then like the subscriptions just start decreasing, and my cash flow starts to, is invisible.
And you have all of this product sitting there that's just like money that you aren't making. Okay.
So the lesson was, I should have borrowed money when I didn't need the money. Kept my money for my cash flow. And so I'm still recovering from that, because like credit got hit, and so it's like, okay, now I'm trying to recover. And we're going on 4 years of still, because business has to keep moving. Right.
It does.
But that's the biggest lesson, was just, not using other people's money, when you just, because a lot of people say, I don't want to go into debt, but you can pay the debt back. Like the goal is like, I'm going to take on the debt so that I can grow and I can pay the debt
and then
back.
I have the money to be able,
So,
absolutely.
So many people are like, I don't want debt. So that was a tough one. And the whole, my second one is, so this is why I'm still recovering, because I was also under the, like culturally, we're taught to write everything off. But then on your taxes, you're not making anything.
Yes.
So when you go for the loan, they're like, I'm like, why did they need my taxes for the loan? And you go for the loan, and they're like, it shows you're not profitable.
Right. Why would we loan you money? You don't make any.
It's like, but here's my P&L. No. here's what you filed on your taxes. So who knew? So that was the second poor decision, that writing everything off was. So
you do have to be strategic about that.
You do.
And working with whoever's doing your taxes, so that you can actually show. And at a certain point, maybe at the beginning, you don't want to, you need to write everything off, but then gradually as you're growing.
And pay your taxes, but get a payment plan. Like, okay, you're going to get hit and you're going to have to pay some taxes, but just, put a payment plan in place.
And you can factor that in quarterly or monthly too, so that you're setting that money aside.
Right, yes.
But those are good strategies.
So still recovering. We'll get there.
You will. You just like you've overcome everything else.
So the plan is in place to recover from that. But so those were two tough decisions.
Well, it has been such a pleasure, like hearing all of your success stories and everything that you're doing. And I mean, I absolutely love the innovation and, learning from things and creating new ideas in the marketplace. And that, so we want to toast to the good decisions with some rosé wine. We're gonna, it's a French wine. I love the French region. Rocasante wine that we're gonna be drinking. And the only poor decisions we're gonna be making are, are we drinking red, white, or rosé?
Riesling.
Riesling? Okay.
And actually, ice wine. If I got a couple dollars, I'm going ice wine.
Ice wine. Okay. Yep, I get it. And then I'm a rosé girl.
Okay.
So, cheers.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Until the next time.